Prime IV Delray Beach helps you feel better, look better, and perform better with IV vitamin therapy. Each of our IV drips is the equivalent of 2.5 gallons of hydration and a custom blended mix of vitamins designed to help you reach your health goals. The top complaints we address are more energy, better sleep, sports recovery, meaning less soreness when you work out, or a great boost to your immune system. Come in if you're feeling under the weather or to help stave off those nasty bugs if someone's in your house and brought them home. Use the code word SWEET, SWEET, for 20% off any IV treatment valid at the Delray Beach location only.
Hello, everybody. It's Andrea Trout, aka Sweet, and I'm here with my co-host,
Carolina Rush, a.k.a. Spicy.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm excellent. And we're here with our resident skincare expert, Nancy Reagan, the First Lady of Skincare. Hi.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
How are you?
Welcome back. We're great. It's Friday. I think it's been a little bit of a long week. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Yeah.
Is that just me? Probably not.
It's been a long week.
It's been a long freaking week.
I agree.
And but that's all right. We're gonna end on a high note of talking about some skincare tips.
Say.
I have to plug a product for you. I haven't used it, so I'm actually gonna have Carolina plug it. But she came in to Bella Reina and got a mask from you.
Yes.
And literally 3 of our friends
Way
just
more than that.
walked out of here with it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying right now
Just
because
now.
we texted Nancy and said, bring 3 of those because of the results you've had.
Right. It's. I don't even know the name. I don't even care what it's called.
She's going to tell them.
I told her it needs to be called the Miracle Mask because from one use, people started saying, "Oh my God, your face looks so good. You look so." And today, when I walked in here, all 3 of them at the same time were like, "Oh my gosh, you look 10 years younger. And what did you do? And you look amazing. And your face, this and that. You have this glow." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" And they're like, "Okay, call Nancy right now and tell her." And I was like, "Well, I was just informed that it doesn't work for everybody."
Well, it depends on your skin.
Right.
And it's got a blend of acids. And one of them is, like, not that it really matters, but mandelic, which is a really fabulous acid. And if you have oil in your skin, acid loves to, like, give you that glow because it's taking all the dead skin and that acid, the oil layer off.
Yeah.
Kinda. So it takes everything. But if you have super dry skin and you use that mask on somebody that has really dry and they try to use it as many times as you do,
Yeah.
it's not going to be really a good thing. It's going to feel irritation.
Okay.
So what if somebody has combo?
If it's combo, you could
Use it
still
less.
use it. You're just going to use it like maybe every third night or like not quite as often
Interesting.
because it's just it. But for somebody who has oily skin, it's awesome.
And it's Environs. What's the name of it?
Radiance.
Radiance. Oh,
So
there you
I'm
go.
using it every other night. So maybe I don't even need to use it that often.
No, you definitely could. I mean,
Because you have that skin type.
you have the skin to use it because you have like a lot of oil in
Yeah.
your skin. So it's
I love it. Like it's been amazing.
good.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm your new spokesperson.
Thank you.
I mean, literally, 5 more than those 3, but it's pretty funny.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
That's very funny.
So what are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about a TikTok trend. Say that 5 times fast.
TikTok trend, which may be going away soon, but
TikTok? Mm-hmm. Why? I haven't heard. What's the news?
it's political. I won't get into it, but yeah.
Oh, because it's Chinese owned or whatever.
May-
I mean, that's
and it
not
might
really
be going
political,
away.
Yeah, we'll see. I doubt it.
It's funny. Now, just a little tidbit. We were at the chamber the other day having a staff meeting, and we were like, what can the chamber do, social media wise for more exposure, blah, blah, blah. And so we're going to be doing some really fun things going forward, which I'm not going to tell you what they are, but I had said, well, what about TikTok? And the agency that we use was like, there's not, people are slowing down on TikTok. They're not really doing a whole lot. And I was like, why? And he's like, well, they don't really know where it stands as of right now because, after a certain date that it might be banned and be going away.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They collect a lot of information.
Yeah.
Right?
And whether or
But
not,
doesn't everybody?
well,
Facebook doesn't really.
yeah, it's just like, I mean,
It's a perception, though.
but there's a lot of data being collected,
Yeah.
just like, we have people that are from foreign countries that are
Yes.
building airstrips and very small islands very close to the United States. And, you know, it just is.
I understand.
Yeah.
Well,
All right. So which is the TikTok trend?
So it's called skin flooding, and you and I really don't know about it, but Nancy's going to tell us because it's like a trend right now, and everybody's talking about it apparently.
It's something that estheticians have been doing forever, but it ended up being that when our do-it-yourself kind of group of women, when they get online and they have 8 million different ways of doing something with all of their stuff.
And they can video it and put it on social media.
Exactly. And they really made it very popular with skin flooding. It is something, though, that we have done forever. And when we're in a facial and we have to deeply hydrate somebody, we will start a layer process. And we'll do it with layers that will absorb into the skin. So you'll start with, for example, a serum that is pure, like let's say pure hyaluronic. So that pure hyaluronic goes on, and it's going to make the skin more receptive to the next step. You have to start with really well exfoliated skin.
Right.
But it's a great do-it-yourself at home, which is kind of like what it's doing to your skin at night, because it's, even though that mask is a combination mask, it's exfoliating the skin, and then it's rehydrating and plumping it.
The radiance.
The radiance
Okay.
mask. So it is a form of skin flooding, but I love doing it with our Skin Diva products just because it lends itself so well at night, especially for dry, dehydrated, over 50, menopausal skin. It's a fabulous way of rehydrating the skin. So whenever we do a facial and we're doing it, we're putting on, for example, I did one this morning where you're putting on serum, then you're putting on collagen threads, then you're ultrasound penetrating that into the skin, and then you're putting the blue mask on top of that.
Which has an 80 plus in it.
Right, which has...
Or no, blue methylene. Blue methylene, I'm sorry.
So you're adding that on top of it. Then you're taking a hydrating emulsion and you're massaging all of that in. Then on top of that, you're now adding in a peptide serum on top of that. And you keep on with these layers and then putting a mask on top of that that will help to push everything in.
Like the radiance mask?
Well, the radiance mask is not, my word is occlusive. It's not enough of a cover to push. It needs to be more of like a biocellulose mask or something that is like, it could be a clay mask because it's covering and helping to, it's occlusive.
Sealing it in.
It's occlusive, but I really like masks that are the paper, it's not paper, it's biocellulose.
But the one that's a physical product to
It's a
put,
physical.
like where you have it feels like a paper and it looks like a face.
Right.
Yeah.
And those help to drive the product into the skin. When you do that, you have like your fine lines are minimized. Anything that you were worried about as far as like, hey, am I going to get another wrinkle? You're not going to see it for a while. So it makes a huge difference in the skin.
So how, and obviously you know, but how are these do-it-yourselfers knowing what order to put that on? Because there's an order that it makes sense, but you don't always know, like...
And how long is is this like months?
No, they do it at one night before they go to bed.
Oh, this is all in one night?
Yes.
Oh,
That's
wow.
what they're, and there's like a few minutes in between each one minimum.
And some are doing it to sell, like they'll be doing it to sell a product.
Right. Like affiliate or whatever, or they're just an influencer.
Right.
Yeah.
And they'll be doing it to sell a product. So they'll be, oh, this is my product and this is where you use it. But they're starting with, you're going from a serum to something that's heavier.
So I know you start lighter to heavier and then end with that
Right.
paper. I'm using air quotes for those listening. Paper mask.
Paper
It's not a
mask.
paper mask.
I mean, some of the influencer people actually have people taking paper towels and putting them in fluid and then putting it on the face.
Instead of, why wouldn't they just, because it's expensive, I guess? I don't know.
Well, it's not as
they're
do-it-yourself.
do-it-yourself, yeah.
Right. It's not as
So
do-it-yourself.
interesting.
It's very interesting.
So if somebody wants to do that, what's the minimum, like, what, 3 products would they see results with?
3, I think, is like if you're doing something though, like with like if you have any equipment at home, so like if you have a muscle lift machine or microcurrent machine or anything like that that has ultrasound, or there's a lot of those that are around, or even an LED. If you have an LED and you're putting that over and letting it dry for like 5 minutes, all of that is going to help the process of the skin flooding.
Is it? So let me ask you this, because I know that I forget what brand it is, and I'm not obviously affiliated with them, but there's a brand out there that has an LED. I think it's a red light mask, and it's supposed to be for acne or anti-aging, but it's not very expensive. Do those actually work, or how do you know one of those LED masks work? You know what I'm talking about, where you have the mask on and then the lights like shining on your face inside? They look weird.
Yeah, and I also, before you answer that, I bought one of those things that I just got a couple days ago. It vibrates and it's got different lights, and so I put it on, and honestly, while I was doing it, I was like, "Am I so stupid for doing this? Is actually work."
Some of the equipment actually works like amazing.
Okay.
Some of it is junk.
TikTok.
So how do you know?
Trash.
It depends on the manufacturer. It depends on how long they've been in business. It depends where it's made. It depends on how many nanometers the light is and the frequency of the light. So it makes a huge difference. You know, like I know for like our machines that are doing LED in the spa, where it has to be in order for the LED to work. And also LED, a handheld LED is not going to work. You want to be as close to the skin as possible, but your distance of the LED to the skin, the closer it is, the better it is. But a lot of these commercial ones just don't have enough power to really make a difference.
Do you know, like what did you say for the LED power? What it needs to be?
640.
Or higher? 640 or
I'll have
higher.
to look at that.
Each wavelength is something that works with the body. And they first did it, NASA back in the day really discovered the technology for the light technology.
Yeah.
Because they were sending people into space and they wanted them to be able to have air and be
Like
able to
sunlight?
have light.
Is this like supposed to be light to probably prevent SAD or something?
And also it helped with also bacteria.
Oh.
So the blue light is antibacterial.
So that makes sense for acne.
The red light is for anti-aging. And then when you get into the infrared, which you see in the saunas and everything like that, the infrared is for aches and pains.
Yeah, mine has like 7 different colors with 7 different things. I'm like, I could use all of them. I don't even know where to start.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We're such suckers. And I'm not saying that about you. I'm such a sucker. I am like the worst. Mine's Instagram. I'm like, oh, that looks nice.
Technology, though, is expanded so much. It just depends on the manufacturer, like in whether or not it's good or not. Like,
we should buy like more for one of our episodes with Nancy, buy some TikTok, like Instagram, like viral products and be like, how garbage is this?
Right. Well, I could bring that one in.
You can bring that one in. I can bring a couple others in. She's going to be like, yes, this is garbage.
well, some of the stuff is really amazing.
Really?
And I actually work with a lady who does a lot with Korea. And Korea, Japan, they have some amazing...
They're so ahead of us.
Amazing technology. And their technology in a handheld form is just over the top. A lot of that has translated to China, and China has some pretty amazing technology.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's just finding the right manufacturer and knowing, okay, so how long have they been selling this equipment? You know, what kind of factory do they have?
Well, the way that you dig up information on people, she digs information up on that, like on businesses and products. She knows it all. Like she's that CIA sleuth for those type of things.
Right.
Probably people too, but you no businesses. She's be like, oh, let me just Google them on people. But you do it on products, on ingredients. Like it's amazing.
When you want to know,
you do
like totally what you're buying. So,
Right.
I mean, and if I'm going to go buy something from somebody who's overseas that I've never met and I don't know them,
Yeah.
I want to know what I'm buying.
What about that one? It's not it's not a device, but it's the one that you put on, you like paint on the face, and I think it peels off. Do you know which one I'm talking about? Because that one was like really big for a while.
Are you talking about the porcelain?
It's not the one that makes your skin look like glass. That one's come out more
Which
recently.
I've tried. I bought two, since you mentioned that on the episode, I've bought 2 different ones. Didn't do it for me. It didn't look like that at all.
You have so much oil in your skin.
Is that why? I was like, I was
it's
so
for people
disappointed.
like me that have more combo, a little bit drier side.
Exactly.
So then I would look like glass skin, which your skin looks like that anyway.
Yeah, but I was like, there's no difference. Like, I just wasted all this money.
That's how they get you.
That's how they get, because it's a marketing gimmick.
Right.
That's the biggest problem with food and with skincare and beauty is let's see how we can pull one over their eyes.
See, I'm way more knowledgeable on food, supplements.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
It really is crazy.
Yeah. Very interesting. So going back to the skin flooding, like, so start with a serum that's a lighter.
Right.
And then we're going to go to what's the next step that you would do if you're going to do a simplified version of skin flooding?
I really so to me, it's the ingredients. So if the serum that you're using has hyaluronic, peptides, NAD, all these like boosters in it and ceramides.
Something to increase the
moisture.
hydration of the skin. Like
Exactly.
Yes. Okay.
So ceramides and hyaluronic, they could be put on separately, but those 2 are in our skin currently. And in order to have the skin plump up, you need to be able to have both of those. A ceramide is actually kind of like how simplified how the cell floats in the body. So and the hyaluronic goes around and binds the moisture. So anything that's done at the beginning, if you include hyaluronic and ceramides at the beginning, then everything that follows is going to be packed in and pulled into the skin.
Okay.
And you want those peptides and you want the actual good ingredients to actually absorb into the skin. It's not going to absorb into dead skin, so you really have to start with skin that is well prepped.
Exfoliated.
Well cleansed properly.
Right.
Not with a
Something drying.
garbage cleanser, because that's just going to really get it out of whack and out of balance. But something that's really balanced for a cleanser, and then using something that's going to really take out the toxins, and then an exfoliate, and then start.
So the cleanser should not be drying, cleanse the skin and take out toxins. That's the job of the cleanser. Right. And most cleansers on the market are probably drying.
Correct.
And people don't realize it.
They have no idea. Even the ones that say are sold famously by every dermatologist.
Yeah, right.
They're really super drying for the skin.
So interesting. We're just sold.
We're sold.
Yeah.
It's all marketing.
Yeah.
It's true. So after that, and then what's next? So you're putting on what you want, like probably spot treating of sorts, like if you're wanting wrinkles or if you're wanting acne or something.
Well, whatever those ingredients are, peptides or whatever. So if you want something that's antibacterial, you're going to be applying something with a serum that is going to hopefully have some botanical extracts in it or whatever that's going to help with your acne.
With the issue.
There's meadowroot and some of these really great pineapple. Some of these are really awesome for actually going in and doing the job of salicylic acid. People don't really realize that the plants have been around a long time.
Right.
But it does a great job of helping with the acne. And also, but the peptides are not going to hurt the acne either. We just think of them more as for anti-aging.
Got it.
So when I had gone, the last time I went to my lady who does my Botox and other things in my face, she had said, "Oh, I've got this really great laser machine that's fairly new," and she said, "And it's kind of like getting a chemical peel without the downtime."
Run.
Okay. I think it's called Morpheus.
That's everywhere.
It's a microneedling radio frequency machine.
So she had said, like, it'll completely get rid of for the most part, get rid of your sunspots, which is a really big issue for me. And she said, and of course, if you take care of your skin, they won't come back. But if you go back in the sun and you're not putting SPF on, and I was just like, they're going to come back. Is there something, instead of spending $2,500 or $3,000 on that kind of treatment, that you can put on your face that will lighten the sunspots or get rid of the sunspots? Because that's I have them all over, and I feel like they're multiplying.
Okay, so whenever you do, I'm not a big fan. Okay, Morpheus is a microneedling radio frequency machine. It's not a laser.
Okay.
Unless they just came out with a new one. They may have that I don't know about. But anytime you do a chemical peel for pigmentation, you're taking off layers of the skin. As we age, our skin automatically gets thinner and thinner and thinner. So when you take off layers of skin as you age, you may not look older for the first couple of years after your laser, but after 4 or 5 years after
catches
the
up to you.
laser, you're going to look older than you did before you had the laser. And the spots are going to reappear.
And be worse because the skin's thinner.
Because the skin's thinner.
Okay.
The job of the quick fix America of let's get rid of the spots and make them go away is something that, because it's disturbing, because we are, like, for example, hydroquinone is out there as a skin lightener. We are the only country that allows hydroquinone to be distributed by our doctors, and it's in products, and it causes cancer. It's banned. Wow. It's banned in Europe and everywhere else. Now, you'll hear a dermatologist in the United States will go, "Oh, just use it for 3 months and you'll be fine."
What's it called?
Hydroquinone.
Okay.
Okay, it is a skin lightener. It works amazing. It's like, woof, it's gone. Done and done.
And it might give you cancer.
But it's been around since the early 2000s.
Okay.
So it's been around for 20, 24 years. And probably even before that. But it just became very popular in the 2000s. And what happens when you lighten things and you're not going to the root of the problem is you'll temporarily lighten it. But the minute you step out in the sun, it will come back in full force because it's called tyrosine inhibitors. Unless you have it on your skin, in your skin, and high-dose vitamins, the melanin is going to go, wow, I'm in bloom again.
Right.
I just got some more sun, so now I'm going to let you have the pigmentation back again. And you can lighten it a lot with products, but it takes time to lighten it.
Right.
Vitamin A, C, and E lightens it a lot. Mulberry extract. There's all kinds of different extracts that are botanical that lighten it. NAD helps, like our Skin Diva.
And glutathione internally can help lighten skin.
I mean, I can show you pictures of Skin Diva before and after even 14 days, the pigmentation change.
I noticed that when I was using it.
Right. I mean, but if you continue, it continues to get better because what it's doing is it's busting up the melanin deep down in the dermis layer. So it's getting, it's making the cells, I'm going to be the original color that I was. Microneedling helps too, but if you're pushing the information down deep, so like if you're doing exosome microneedling, it does wonders because you're doing deep. You're not taking layers of the skin off.
Which we know you don't want to do as you get older.
Right. Yeah. Because when you just take the layers off, let's take off 4 or 5 layers, fine.
Are there any laser treatments out there that aren't doing that with the skin? All the laser treatments are taking a layer of the skin off?
Some, there's the photo laser treatments that don't take off layers, like the treatments, the photo light, and people get remarkable, like with that for the melanin, the pigmentation.
Okay.
But they also are combining it with microneedling and doing other things.
Yeah.
They're not just doing
The laser, the photo
the
laser.
photo light by itself, and it just makes a difference. But I'm just not a fan. Like even like the heavy duty chemical peels, the women I see now that had those heavy duty chemical peels back in the day, it's the destruction of what it did to the skin is so sad. I mean, I have one, her whole upper lip, because she really had to have it, like all the pigmentation gone, and she wanted no wrinkles on her lip because she was a big smoker. So she did this like crazy, crazy peel. And she really has like white here, the rest of her face, because it burned all the pigmentation out completely.
Was that like late 90s, early 2000s?
Early
when it was
2000s.
super popular?
It was super popular.
I remember.
They were doing like heavy duty. You spent the night in the.
And your face looked like raw meat from like a week or two.
I mean,
you remember that?
You were like a burn.
I don't remember.
Early 2000s.
It was like a burn victim.
Yeah.
It was.
I had somebody in my family do it, and we were like, and you literally saw a line at the jaw of this was white and this was like normal skin tone.
Well, the only like burn that I remember, and I think I've talked about this before, is my sister would have these chemical peels, and she couldn't go out of the house for like a week.
That's
it
probably
looked
what we're
like
talking about.
3rd degree burn.
Yes.
She did it as recently as just a few years ago, and she's done it several times.
Well, they've advanced
But
now in different ways.
she's had issues with acne, and that kind of thing. But I'm like, who would want to do that to themselves? It's like 3rd degree burns on her face, and she swears by it. But I don't think she's going to do it again after the last one, because the last one was really bad. But yeah, I could never.
Well, and the problem with the peel is it does not get to the root of the problem, and it does not re-educate the cell. So when you're trying to rebuild your skin, there's nothing there it's creating new skin, but it's creating new skin from old memories.
From the same information.
Yeah, it's like the same thing. So it's like getting married again to the same guy.
Right.
You know, it's like
Expecting a different outcome.
Janine.
right? Expecting a different
I
outcome,
love that,
right?
Janine.
I resemble that.
That's so awesome.
But you know, it's like you're doing it again and again, and it's like it's not going to get rid of the scar damage is down in that the DNA of that cell. It remembers being hurt.
Right.
So unless you're doing something to give it a new memory, it's not going to change.
It sounds like our personal life.
I mean, you know, things have themes.
Right.
I think it's true.
So go ahead.
Go ahead.
So I'm actually curious. As we were talking, I was like, I don't think we've ever actually discussed this, and I don't know if you offer any of this. But when we talk about skincare in here, we're always talking about the face. So,
I love doing body treatments.
okay. So can we talk about the body?
Yes.
We've never talked about the body.
What part of the body are you going to talk about?
Well, I'm not going to discuss what Nancy had proposed earlier in the text.
It's an inside joke. Sorry, people. It was very funny. One day.
Like skin tightening, cellulite. Like, do you have that stuff?
We do. Again, there's different ways of doing it.
Because I'm ready to put this mask that you gave me all over my
your
body.
There's infrared body treatments work really well with the right creams to help the fat lipolysis in the body. That we do offer. And what happens is it speeds up the cell so that the cell and the fat kind of like the fat is, okay, it's time to go now, but you have to drink a ton of water. And the products that are used are from France. of course, but they are
Vive la France.
Yes, because those women take care of their bodies like
Right.
crazy, and they want everything just
As they smoke.
perfect. Exactly, but they want everything perfect, so they have to look like amazing. So the cellulite is eliminated because of that, and it's a process, but it's a process you can do some of it at home. And the other I really like for skin tightening is I love lactic acid for the body, and doing at home like with lactic acid and high dose vitamins. That is like one of the things you can do totally for yourself.
Is that
And you could do it all over your body, anywhere.
Anywhere.
And you sell that. Okay.
Yes.
what product do you sell that has that?
It's Environ product. It's a Dermalac.
Is it Dermalac? Because I have
Dermalac.
Dermalac. I love
It's a
Dermalac.
17% lactic
so
acid.
amazing.
The one we use for the professional treatment is a 30% lactic, so it's really going to give it a jump start. I kind of like to do it like once, especially like if somebody's getting ready for a big occasion and they don't want like their arms to have crepiness, or they don't want their arms to like have any like sagging at all, or they have discoloration, they want to change. I can always tell when I haven't used it and when I have been using it and I've been testing something else, because the color will go away and be even when I'm using it. And then they have the second product is a vitamin A, C, and E oil. And the two together are amazing for
Really
the
good.
skin.
But when you say treatment, what does that mean? Is there like a machine? Like you would come
No,
to
it's
you and like
The body treatment for slimming is with a body blanket, and that's with it jumpstarts the fat lipolysis in the body.
So is
That's
it almost
more
like
for-
a wrap?
It's a
so you
wrap.
come to your salon and how long you lay in this body wrap?
for an hour and you perspire.
Is it constricting?
You know what? I've never liked the ones that I like it when the head's out, because people are claustrophobic.
Right.
So
I'm already like
I was like, she resembles this remark.
yeah. So people are claustrophobic. So it goes up around the neck, but it allows you to be inside the infrared. And infrared heat goes down deep into the bone. So it allows you to get hotter. So your head's out. So your body, you don't know, hey, my body's like at 100 and whatever, and it's sweating
Right.
to death, but your head's like, oh, I'm fine.
Yeah.
So you can actually stay in there and do it longer, and it works really, really well. If you're doing exfoliation, I like to hey, here, you can do this at home with the Environ products, but I also like it that if you really are wanting to jumpstart doing something, that you're coming to the spa and doing a body peel first. And that's, a 30% body peel.
So almost double of what the at-home product is.
Right. But the difference in a chemical peel of magnitude and a 30% lactic is how the acid is buffered. And this is buffered, so it's taking off the dead skin and just giving you, it's kind of like, okay, you need to wake up now. It's time for you to absorb all this product and get rid of all this little dead skin that's been hanging out. And so it's giving you a nice, smooth skin and not going down to, let's burn off about 4 or 5 layers.
Right.
So it's not doing that.
One thing I realized I haven't asked you, how often should somebody like me that has it be using that at home?
Oh, I use it every day.
Okay. I don't use it quite every day, but almost, probably every other day. But I will go back to every day because I like it. I do like it. It's
do
really
too.
nice. Yes.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll have to talk more.
So with the bodies, the treatment you're talking about in the spa, if somebody was like, okay, I have this big event and they wanted to jumpstart it, how many should they do up to that event to see results like the quickest?
Well, my mogs, most of those ladies, they're doing it probably if they want to, they're tying it, because I really like them doing it tied to nutrition and a fitness program.
Yeah.
So, because if you're not doing it all together, the results, you can go lay in a body wrap and detox.
Yeah.
And it's great for detox.
And
it's awesome.
Less
for,
than stellar though.
Yeah, it's great for detox. it's like so awesome, but really to sit there and not work out and not eat right, it's not going to do it.
So what'd
But
you call them? Mogs?
Mogs, mother of the groom, mother of the bride.
Got it.
So mobs.
Yes, mobs.
Yeah, so so they're always like, they know like 6 months in advance or year in advance. So they start planning.
On a process.
They're on a mission.
Right.
The funny thing is, you see them for like 6 or 9 months,
And then they're gone.
And then they're gone.
They're
and it's
all
like,
done.
you never see them again. I'm like, I had this one. Her name was Mary Ellen, and I mean, literally, her face looked like she'd had a facelift. Her body looked amazing.
Wow.
Her pictures were awesome. And every once in a while, I check in. I'm like, so how's it going? I'm playing tennis, and I'm golfing. So
She was all done.
She was
That's
done.
funny.
It was over.
The pictures are done.
Right.
It's hilarious.
Wow.
That's funny.
Yeah.
The other one that we were talking about as a trend on TikTok was castor oil.
Right.
It's like, and it's definitely trending. It's actually been trending for a little while now. It's like blowing up. Do you know much about castor oil?
She knows.
I know about that. I don't know what the trend is.
Well, I mean, honestly, it's trending that you can use it for like a lot of things.
That's kind of like coconut oil back in the day.
Yes, and
When coconut oil was big and everybody's
Yeah.
like, oh my God, you could use it for your hair, your face, your this, your that. And everybody was doing that.
yeah, and as we know, we've talked about coconut oil before. Don't do that. Some people it breaks out,
Right.
as can castor oil.
Right.
And honestly, what I've seen castor oil, because, I'm in a lot of what we'll call very holistic groups of people that don't want to use any sort of allopathic Western medicine. So one of them I've seen is where you get like any sort of, not necessarily face, but skin condition, and you can put castor oil on it as a castor oil pack. Like, there's companies that will sell it where you have a wrap and the castor oil goes on your belly, and it is very detoxifying because it absorbs into the skin very well into the organs.
What does it do?
It literally detoxifies like the liver. So you can put a castor oil pack, so you can take like what these very holistic people are doing is soaking a bit of wool or cotton in castor oil. So, and it's not necessarily dripping, but it's pretty saturated.
Right.
And then you put a wrap around it because it can get messy. So they actually have these wraps, like think almost like a ace bandage of sorts. And then you sleep in it or you keep it on for an hour because it's soaking into the skin and then getting into the organs. And it's like any sort of detoxification process. There's some, I don't actually know the process, do you?
No.
Of how it like detoxes the liver, because I don't know that. But they say and I actually had one of my people in Colorado, she was a naturopath of sorts, and it's called Palma de Cristo, meaning the palm of Christ is what they call the oil.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because it has historically for a lot of years been used to heal many things like burns. You can put it on burns right away. What are the trends you're seeing?
We're seeing it used. I have a person that I work with that she's actually a bodybuilder, and she does a big machine called the Balancer Pro, and she does the lymphatic drainage with the Balancer Pro. Plus, she uses the same products that I'm using in my infrared body wrap. She does so she's using it. It's really wild. She's using it all over on the body before they get into the lymphatic drainage, and combining it with the lymphatic drainage. And then after they do the lymphatic drainage, like the next day, they're doing a body wrap treatment. And the change to the body through the combination,
So interesting.
It's like really amazing.
What are they seeing? What changes are they seeing? Like physical, their appearance wise, right?
Appearance wise, especially for somebody who has cellulite, and
Yeah.
so they have all of the pocks that are sitting there, just like sitting.
Well, and we know that that's fascia to
Right.
some extent, right?
Yes.
Like cellulite is simply trapped fat pockets that are bound in fascia, which fascia think of like, do you know what fascia is, right? So it's the connecting tissue that is holding the body kind of together. But what happens is it gets bound and it gets very tight. And you can see it in different ways. Like there's some that they call gummy bear, where it kind of is like a gummy look to it. And there's some that's like a gravel look to it, and it can get different ways. And so there's tools out there, they're controversial, that it's called the Fascia Blaster, and there's a lot of knockoffs, but that was the first one I ever found. And I've been doing it for years, that you use, and they're not machines. They're like a molded plastic basically that you run on the body, and they have different size of, it's a claw. It sounds crazy, but it's actually been very effective for getting rid of what, I mean, I still have some, but in terms of like what it used to be, it's much better because it's just those fat pockets were trapped. And then it just says, think of it like little marbles or little gravel, like pushing up the skin, you know? So once you release that fascia and smooth it out, instead of like a tangled knot of ropes pushing those fat cells up, now it's just smooth.
So you use this?
I have a lot of them. I'm obsessed. I've had them for years.
Okay. So
And I'm
we'll
not-
have to talk about that.
Yeah, and I there's a lot of women that are really consistent with it, and the results they get are astounding. And there's a lot of women that you can go online and they hate it and they hate on it and they say it gave them bruising and it damaged their body. And I'm like, I'm sure there's people all in between, and you can find whatever you want on the internet, but it's been amazing for me. And that woman has built a huge company off it. The lady that started it.
Ashley.
Ashley Black. Yep. And she started it because she used to be like I don't know if it was a trainer, but she used to work with pro athletes in Southern California. And she invented this tool for them to like loosen up the muscle after she would do a session with them. She'd be like, why we run it over this? You know, you need to do this. Well, I think it was a basketball player, if I'm remembering the story right, his girlfriend was a supermodel. So she worked out and she would use it even though she wasn't her client. And she called her up and was like, I can't believe this tool. It's so amazing. It got rid of my cellulite. And that's when Ashley was like, I should market it for that. And it's taken off. Take it like for a while there, I don't think it's anymore. She was the largest female group on Facebook when groups were first getting big. Like I was in it, there were over 300,000 women in it like right away. And then there's like groups for over 50, groups for the big, beautiful women, you know, like all these groups popped up from it that people doing these, and she has routines, like all the stuff's on YouTube. Like it's amazing.
You need to start sharing this a little sooner. You know, this one likes to hold on to information.
Really?
Totally.
I tell you things and you look at me all skeptical, and then I'm like,
when you
why would
tell
I
me
tell
the
you?
table is made out of information, I am
true.
going to look at you crazy. But when you tell me about
Information and light.
yeah. And
She believes
oh
me.
my gosh. Well, you two are from the same. So yeah.
I know.
So listen, when she lost a ton of weight, all of a sudden we were like, what happened? What are you doing?
I had
She's
told
like,
them.
oh, I didn't tell you? Like no, you didn't tell me.
I did.
And
I
then-
told them.
And now she's telling,
100% I
and now
told
she's
them.
saying, oh, and I got rid of all my cellulite using this thing that I have so much of, but I've never heard you talk about it.
It's called the fascia blaster. You're right. I did not tell you about
No,
the
it's
fascia
called
blaster.
being selfish.
Yeah, I need to know about,
Seriously, what?
I need to fix this whole like.
We need to raid her house.
Well, I feel like I need crepe erase or something on my legs because I'm losing weight, right? And so I'm getting flabby. So what can I do
told
for my
you,
legs?
you need
Lift
to work
weights.
out and lift weights.
You have to lift heavy, which I told you from the get-go, Miss Janine.
Yep,
I know,
we
but
both did.
I want a magic cream.
I know you do. It doesn't exist. Dermalac would help, right?
Dermalac will help a lot, and the vitamin A, C, and E oil will help a lot with the skin and tightening the skin. But really, truly, you have to do the work.
The workouts. You have to lift. And I don't care if you're losing weight or not. If you're over really any age group, if you're younger, do it now because you might as well build the habit. If you're older, you need to start now because it's going to save your life.
It will.
Yes.
Gosh, you sound like somebody I know. You must lift weights or it
have
will
to
save.
Oh my gosh.
It'll save your life.
It will. It's not just me or somebody else saying it. It's facts.
It's true.
It's facts.
So what else? I'm writing this all down.
I was like, what's she doing over there?
She's over there typing out
I don't even know if
fascia
I'm
blaster.
No, I don't even know I'm spelling this. I'm like vitamin A, C.
E.
So castor oil too, the other thing that I think you can do is, so if you ever get like a cyst, like people get cysts on their wrists and you know, they'll go get them drained. And didn't you have one on your knee? A cyst on your behind your knee?
Behind my knee.
And
It's
you had to
still
go-
there.
So you can put castor oil on a pack. Like, again, you get a little piece of cotton or wool. Really important that it's a natural fabric like that. Don't get synthetic. You're going to get a high-quality castor oil, so you don't want any hexane in it. And soak it in that, and then take like an ace bandage, wrap it around there. And then if you don't, because the castor oil will stain everything and it's very thick and goopy. So you can put some like saran wrap around the ace bandage and leave it on overnight if you can stand it, or for a few hours. But that, if you done consistently, that will make that cyst disappear.
Really?
Yeah.
Even though it's inside, it's deep inside.
Yeah. But the skin is an organ, right?
Yeah.
It's your largest organ in the body. And although now they're saying muscle is the largest organ in the body, so that'll be interesting to see the debate on that in the future. But whatever, they're both big organs in the body. But because of that, it's going to go, like, it's literally being distributed into the rest of the body. But that's why you're putting it on the spot of the cyst, because it's going to go right into that cyst and make it smaller.
Nice.
And so, and people have healed liver problems with it. Like, again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to give medical advice. But anecdotally, we've seen a lot of people in these holistic groups that they do not do Western medicine for the most part, unless it's emergency. And it's a lot of things that will disappear with castor oil.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I do like castor oil, if you can't tell. It's one of the other things I haven't told you, because
apparently.
I don't know how receptive you are to things. If you need to know something, ask me. I'll tell you. I've never had a problem with that.
I don't know what I don't know.
What you don't know.
Exactly.
It's true for me, too.
Listen, you need to be spreading the word.
I didn't know about this mask that you used.
I told you immediately when I started it.
I know, but she's known for years. I go to her for all my products. She hasn't told me. So
she has a lot of products.
I have an idea. You ready? Sweet and spicy. I have a great idea. So we take this show on the road.
100%. 99%.
We go to Andrea's house. We set up cameras, and then we just raid everything she has, and then she has to explain to people what what things are used for.
Actually, I bet you Nancy's house is better for that. Or
not
spa.
only that, but we need to go to the
Bella
spa.
Reina.
Let's do it. Let's go to Ballerina.
Yes, we need to take it to Bella Reina, because we'll put Spicy over here in the sauna blanket and cook her.
No, I want the wrap thing.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll put you in the wrap.
We'll cook you.
That's fine.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Toasty.
We just won't make it video that day.
Oh, it'll 100% be video. And there is 100%.
Yeah.
It's not 99%. It's 100% going to be on video. That will be fun. I'm looking forward to that. It's going to get scheduled.
Yeah, we've been talking about that for a while. We have to do it.
We do.
So we have to, schedule with you, make sure nobody else is in there, and maybe we'll have to do it after hours.
Yeah, we'll have to do it at night.
Or do it on a Monday.
That's slower.
Or we're closed on Mondays. So.
Good.
Oh, there you
Perfect.
go. That's
We can do that.
perfect.
Perfect.
We'll have to coordinate.
Does the producer get a free treatment?
Oh, absolutely.
Bertha.
Bertha.
Bertha, get a free treatment.
That's what she said on the last
Yeah.
one. This is Bertha. I'm like, where did that come from?
She's in hiding.
I know. Any other parting wisdom for us on skin?
Not that I can think of today. We've had a very vast array of topics, from skin flooding to castor oil to
Body
fascia,
Body treatments.
body treatments.
It is funny because I was using the bamboo face scrub as an exfoliant, and I was like, oh, I want another one of this. And you're like, well, it's not really good for your face. And I'm like, that's fine. I'm using it on my décolletage and my legs. You're like, let me get you something better. See, I'm not the only one that goes outside, uses stuff that I'm not supposed to, that she's like, use this instead of this.
I do have one last question for you. So I'm very old school when it comes to facials, and I like the actual extraction. And
Well, it's the only way to do it right.
so I'm wondering, so back in the 90s and 2000s when I get facials all the time, they would literally sit there and extract with their fingers. And it was very satisfying to me. That's what I liked. It made me feel like it was
Getting clean.
right. That really doesn't happen that much anymore.
You're
still
not going
do
to
it.
the right place.
Yeah, they still do it.
So the last probably 10 facials I've had, it's more about cream after cream after cream and massage and more cream. And I'm like,
Hello.
it looks good and it feels great, but is it coming out? I don't know. Is it?
No.
So do you actually do the extraction
Yes.
with the fingers and
Yes.
you see it come out?
And you can add that onto any facial somebody's doing for the most part, right?
For the most part. But the other part is the estheticians that that you go to, it needs to be, like pretty much like nobody really likes, the new generation does not like to do extractions.
Right.
They haven't been taught to do extractions properly, and they really don't do them properly. So it's really like, and I say that generically, like,
Right.
but it's not for everybody. But back, they eliminated the fact that you could use a very fine needle to do it unless you were in a medical facility. So what happened is there's a whole underground of estheticians that do it anyway.
Illegally.
Right.
It's so funny.
But most, if you're going to a hotel spa, if you're going to a country club spa, you're going anywhere that has a huge liability risk, they don't have a doctor
Right.
overseeing their facility, they will not be doing extractions the old-fashioned
With
way.
a needle. But what
Or-
about the ones that are like the tools that have the, the little tiny, those aren't good?
Those are like looking at like something like ancient with
Really?
like Fred Flintstone.
So what do you
Yeah.
guys use for it? Because you don't use your fingers.
We use gauze. We use our fingers and gauze.
Just to push, that's all you use is fingers?
fingers,
remember
and because we do the medical part of it, we have extractors when we
Okay.
need them.
Yeah.
So we will, if there's something in the nose area that is not reachable, we will use a comedone extractor. But the majority of people don't know how to use them properly.
Right.
The majority of the people are dragging them, they're pushing them across the skin. They're way too hard.
Because you just want to push it down in one spot, lift up, not drag it at all. Yeah.
And then if it's going to come out, it's going to come out.
Yeah.
The key is loosening up the oil before you actually do the extractions. You want to do that at home. Put jojoba oil on your nose, massage it in, organic jojoba oil, massage it in, and then take while that's happening, put a wet towel into the microwave for maybe 5 seconds, maybe like as long as you want to get it warm. Take the warm towel and put it over your face and let the nose area get warm with the jojoba oil. Take the towel off, massage more in, and then get yourself, do not do this with your nails.
Gloves.
No nails. It would be nice if you have gloves, but really using gauze, not paper towels, not tissues, not facial tissues, not toilet paper. You really want a smooth gauze and wrapping your fingers and then using that to squeeze the nose area and going like this, and the stuff will like fly out of there.
Really?
You're so doing this in the next week, aren't you?
I'm obsessed with like Dr. Pimple Popper.
I
like
know, I love it.
I can't watch that.
I love it.
I'm obsessed. I love extractions. I love all of that stuff.
So much fun.
It's so satisfying. It's so weird.
But then you have to get to the root of the problem of why you have
Yeah,
it.
right.
So it's
For sure.
like anything.
Like anything. It's like skin resembles life.
Yes.
Like you were saying,
Yeah.
those themes.
Get to the root of it.
Yes. Well, always fun to have you here, Nancy. Thank you
Thank
for the
you.
fabulous information.
Thank you for having me.
So fun. We love you.
Love you.
And be sure to
Stay tuned.